This is Danny Panzella from TruthSquad.tv for the Reality Report. Recently, Mark Dice of MarkDice.com tipped me off that best-selling author Brad Meltzer of the History Channel's conspiracy show Decoded was speaking at a book signing in New York City. Meltzer revealed that he is involved in a Department of Homeland Security program called the Red Cell Team. Here's the clip.
And a couple of years ago, I got a phone call from the Department of Homeland Security, and they said, will you come in and brainstorm different ways that terrorists will attack the United States? And my first thought was, if they're calling me, we have bigger problems than anybody thinks, right? We are screwed, number one. And without, listen, I was honored to be a part of what's called the Red Cell program. They brought together what they labeled out-of-the-box thinkers, crazy people. And they used to give us, they'd say, here's the city you have to destroy. Here's what you have to do it with, and sometimes it'd be nothing and sometimes it'd be something. And they would put me with a Secret Service agent, with a chemist, and I would come up with my crazy way. And then the chemist would say, no, let's use this chemical, it'll dissipate less quickly in the air. And then the Secret Service guy would go, no, let's go in this way, it'll be much easier. And so we would destroy major cities in no time.
The Washington Post reported in 2004 that the Red Cell teams have been in operation since as far back as the 1970s. They also reported in their summer series, Top Secret America, that hundreds of thousands of civilians in corporate America have high-level security clearances. Meltzer wouldn't discuss any of the scenarios he had written due to signing a non-disclosure agreement with DHS, but he did reveal that he has a close relationship with Herbert Walker Bush, who has been intimately involved with the CIA for many years. In 1997, 4 years before the 9/11 attacks, the U.S. Department of Justice and FEMA, now called the Department of Homeland Security, published a terrorism emergency response manual featuring the World Trade Center in the crosshairs of a target. Could it be that this scenario was imagined by the Red Cell team years before 9/11? The Washington Post also reported in the summer of 2003 that the Red Cell team, including aviation professionals, designed possible methods for terrorists to get bomb parcels onto passenger planes. On December 25, 2009, Nigerian citizen Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib attempted to detonate plastic explosives hidden in his underwear while on board a commercial flight headed for Detroit. He quickly became known as the Underwear Bomber. Witnesses reported odd facts about the Underwear Bomber, such as a sharp-dressed man escorted Muttalib onto the plane because he didn't have a passport. The man claimed he was a Sudanese refugee, but we now know he's Nigerian. Muttalib was also on a terror watch list. But the director of the National Counterterrorism Center, Michael Leiter, made a startling admission when he said, I will tell you that when people come to this country and they are on a watch list, it is because we generally have made a choice that we want them here in the country for some reason or another. Other witnesses reported that there was a man who calmly videotaped the entire plane ride, including the attempted bombing, while others reported Muttalib seemed drugged or dazed. So here we see not only a concerted effort to allow a suspected terrorist to enter the U.S. by allowing him to keep his visa, but also an agent of an unnamed agency escorting the terrorist on the plane, bypassing normal security measures. It should also be noted that military explosive experts say that without a blasting cap, plastic explosives will burn but not explode, similarly to what happened during the underwear attempted attack. There are many other coincidental connections, like Anwar al-Awlaki, who is reported to be the underwear bomber's al-Qaeda handler, but also has been recorded as meeting with Pentagon officials a few months after 9/11 in the Pentagon in D.C. Immediately following the underwear bombing, DHS head Michael Chertoff began pushing the naked body scans for Rapiscan in a series of media appearances.
But there are a few things we could do to make things better. First, we could deploy the scanning machines that we currently are beginning to deploy in the U.S. that would give us the ability to see what someone has concealed underneath their clothing. That has been vigorously opposed by the ACLU and privacy advocates. The House of Representatives voted to prevent us from using it. But I think now there's been a very vivid lesson in the value of that machinery.
Okay, can I stop you there for a second? I know you've been an advocate of this technology for a long time.
Correct.
But just in the interest of full disclosure, I also want to point out in your current role as a security consultant, you are representing some of the companies who manufacture that technology, correct?
Absolutely correct, yeah.
Okay.
This establishes a profit motive. Rapiscan, which produces the body scanner machines, is a client of the Chertoff Group, and in a conflict of interest, Chertoff ordered the naked body scanners while he was still DHS chief, only to get approval to use them after the underwear bombing attempt. Did the U.S. government hire fiction writers and Hollywood producers to write terror scenarios to then scare the U.S. public into accepting greater restrictions on their constitutional liberties, all the while the same officials were profiting from these scenarios? The evidence certainly seems to point in this direction. My name is Danny Panzella, and this has been the Reality Report.